Welcome everyone to the Master Vox, where today I will be showing off my version of the Bulgarian Brigade. So this is in the Squire monthly Joust Tournament. You have myself, Skooma Addict, playing as the Bulgarians, and you have LtMarthy playing 715th Infantry. I'm using V for Victory because I'm a saucy boy, and LtMarthy is using Balanced in this match. So for this, I realized halfway through the recording, as I was doing it live, that I was listening to music that was copyrighted, so I have to do it this way. So I figured at least you guys would be able to see the game from my perspective, even if it is a replay. So my whole thought process was to take this town here, and then fight for the flanks, kind of doing like a holding little blocking position here on this hill. I don't really think he's going to be pushing with a balanced income, but with me being the V for Victory, I needed to push. So if you look over here, the Rheinmetall, the Pack 36 basically, and this 37 mil, they're not good, but they're good for killing either half-tracks or light armored vehicles. And I know that one of the issues that I have is none of my infantry have AT, so I'm putting these little bitches everywhere I can just to try to give me more anti-tank. So as you see here, one of the 37 mils killed off a half-track over here, and over here I'm getting pretty hard by these Luftwaffejägers. They're fantastic with their semi-automatic SVTs and the machine gun, along with them being fanatical. You'll see that part play out later in the game. So it's looking like LtMarthy is mostly focusing on my left with his microing, while I'm still waiting to push on the right. I'm just waiting for these Panzer 38Ts to get into position. So I'm using the 15 points in Alpha, as you saw in the deck building video, just for infantry support. I don't expect these things to kill any armor. If they do, it's a fantastic bonus. What I want them to do is I want them to be within 750 meters so that they are a single machine gun with 60 mils of frontal armor, or whatever it is. It's just a Panzer T-38. Like, they're not much. They're nothing to shake a stick at. Now, you're seeing over here one of the big issues that the Bulgarians have, which is the lack of infantry AT. I'm noticing this and I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. So I'm bringing up this Pack 36. So you might not think the Pack 36 is good, but when you're fighting against clown cars, Pack 36s do the Lord's work. So that's something to think about. I have a Pack 38 watching down this road. There's a lot of issues with the targeting here. You'll see me, like, I was mildly infuriated because it should be picking off reinforcements, but it really doesn't. It looks like both of us are bringing out aircraft at the same time. He's using his Focke-Wulf 190 to strafe, and I'm using this in a Hail Mary attempt for dropping two 250-pound bombs. Looking at it, the Focke-Wulf should have his way with my aircraft, but I should get my bombs off before it dies gloriously. What I'm doing over here is I'm utilizing these 15-point tanks along with these Pahottas in order to try to take positions. I'm using the Pahottas in conjunction with these Nav recon squads. They're fantastic. I love them. It's the Molotov, along with the fact that everything gets to fire in close quarters combat, along with it being a 12-man squad, so it is a chunky boy. Now, one thing about the 715th that not many people will think about is this Panzerbücher infantry actually hurts light armor. So I really like the Panzerbücher and 715th, especially in A phase, for dealing with half-tracks and other fun things like that. Now, the Focke-Wulf killed off my bomber, but now I have a super maneuverable 109 G6. So these things, 95 points. It's just a zippy little bastard. And as you see here, he's not really microing the Focke-Wulf, which is allowing the... Like, this is AI on AI fight, I bet. And it's allowing the Strela G6 to get on his rear a lot. So I think, yeah, it goes down. So it definitely paid its points off, and I'm trying to get that air supremacy because I know his infantry and armor is better than me, and I have to utilize air assets to deal with them. Now, this little Italian tank is the bane of my existence in two parts of this map, because it just wrecks these Panzer T-38s. We're seeing heavy action on this side. Now, these T-11s only have 35 mils of front, 70 mil of penetration. This has 75 millimeters of frontal armor, and it can penetrate me, so we're gonna watch it get smacked around a lot. Oh, it's fighting the infantry. Oh, loader knockout, so I got a really lucky crit there. Now, these Panzer T-38s are bad because they are light armor. Oh my god, it actually killed it. It's light armor, so the issue with that is it has, I think, 4 or 6 health points. So it gets taken out with 1 medium armor, or 1 medium cannon shell. These Luftwaffe Jägers, being chunky boy squads, are popping up in random locations that I can't force forward to surrender them. Now, this T-11, I'm pulling it back because I'm like, well, shit, if it's gun jammed, it's not going to be able to do anything. So I figure eventually when I bring in supplies, I'll be able to bring it back to, like, function. Now, this M223, I wanted to just go all the way back there, but it's really nice that I was able to see that he had a AT gun there. I think it's a Pack 38, or Pack 30, yeah, Pack 38 with APCR that's firing there. So the flanks are hot with action. I was microing elsewhere. I didn't notice this Pack 38 was getting, like, attacked really bad by these Panzer Luftwaffe Jägers. Now, one good thing about this deck is the amount of air you can bring in. So what I'll do is I'll hit a unit that I know is, like, harder to deal with, and I'll pull them back and then push the evac order after that. So I'm trying to use these 250-pound bombs in order to soften and make it so my less superior infantry, because these are all 2-star, mine are 0, because I'm running just numbers. So I'm using the bombers and later artillery in order to swing fights to my advantage. So as you see here, it's just happening. Now these Italian tanks, like I said, bane of my existence. They're just popping me left and right. And I didn't move the... Oh, now I am moving the Pack 36 over in an attempt to deal with it. The 37 I wanted to keep over here, just in case he brought like a Panzer II or something along those lines. Now the door knocker with the AP shell, 65 mils of pens, isn't going to be able to penetrate, but through Fusion math, it eventually will be able to penetrate, just, I guess, off of sheer amount of fire. And the Pack 36 fires real fast. So it's putting suppression on even if it's not penetrating. And eventually, because it's not noticing me, because the very good stealth, it should go down. Haha! It went down. But this little 20 mil clown car, God, the clown cars are like the bane of this division. Fun fact, Panzer IIs can beat Panzer T-38s. So fun fact there. Now, I'm bringing this Panzer IV in to watch the road, because I'm just trying to cut off him being able to quickly bring reinforcements. It's not working the best right now because I have no infantry for recon. And now I'm just trying to bring up more Panzer T-38s in order to force a breakthrough, because I don't think he's going to have that much anti-tank throughout the area. These Mopotas, basically Panzer Grenadier squads with an MG-34. Nothing special, but they are able to, from their building, do a decent amount of suppression or just damage in general. So you can see I'm putting pressure on both flanks. Now, this is what I was talking about with this Italian tank, where they just wouldn't die. So we're going to watch here as these T-38s fail miserably to keep bouncing. So, Italian armor strong against, well, earlier war tanks. And I see what's going on over here, and I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. because I still have all of these vehicles coming in. I don't think he has line of sight or can see me, which is very good for me, until this auto car decides to start lobbing shells at it. Yeah, as you see, he's lobbing the shells. Now, I'm in a constant fight over here for air supremacy. And if you notice, I don't really have any anti-air down right now because I wanted to try to be more offensive in my operations. Oh, Panzer IV, and it takes a pen, but it's already been damaged, so that should go down. There we go. And we have Metapultas moving in. I'm trying to move them to the green cover so they can fire into the yellow cover. And I think my plane went down as well, so... yeah, the Fokker-Wulf got it. Now, one thing I know about the IL-2s, I'm using this for two things. One, to see if there's any AA in the center, in case he brings up a heavy cat. But the cannons on the IL-2 with the 23mm bullets never take IL-2s on a head-on. Because I was able to just destroy that Fokker-Wulf. So it's gotten its points back with its 120 without even hitting a single tank. It might have killed one! I can't remember. I'm sorry we didn't see that. And what we're seeing here is B-Phase comes in. So now he has the income advantage. And we see here he's got a 150 mil Lorraine, so that's self-propelled big gun howitzer. And he's using that to try to tip the infantry engagements on this side really well. I bet if I went to neutral, he would have radio in the area. Now, for those people who enjoy a little bit of advice, always try to use radio if you can with those bigger guns in order to get the most effective fire you can with them. And I'm over here just trying to push him out. And I know it's going to be a harder thing because my income is going to be 40 points lower than him. Oh, look, more clown car shenanigans. Those Panzer IIs, oh, he used them so well with the autocannon cars. Now, you remember I was talking about these Luftwaffe Jaegers just being annoying? Yeah, watch what happens as this Flak 37. They ripped through it, but they're not going to live much longer. So now I have Pehotas. I wanted to push the Panzer up because I know they have the anti-tank grenades. So I'm just going to throw infantry into them. What's crazy, and I never noticed this, was the fact that they're out of rifle ammunition. So let's try to find a Pehota. Oh, they've only got 780 rounds. So with that, we're seeing like the 20-point units run through more ammunition than what Eugen probably thought they were going to do. Now, I'm just trying to clean up my rear lines because those things destroyed the only support weapon that I was bringing in here. Now, he pushes me completely out of the right for the most part. Like, I have a single Mota Peta just holding the line, and that's all I have. So I'm trying to call in some air support in order to just interdict what they have while I can get more stuff coming up. And again, in the deck building, as you saw in B phase, I actually bring the Stuka S35s because they're 10 points in B phase. Not because of the spam ability, but because the availability for them to work well with this income. And yeah, as you see here, I'm making it rain S35s. But that's, in the end, how you have to play these tanks. And as we see over here, he's cleaned up the right flank, but I had stuff on the way. And I'm continuously trying to reinforce this. And I'm like, oh shit, try to get things in there as fast as possible. Oh, he's got a Stug, and that was a side shot with the Pack 36. So, like I said, those Pack 36s are really good just for the fact that they hide really well and they can deal with light armor. But also, you're going to get some really cheeky side shots. Now, one thing I want to say, he did a really good job of bringing troops to this area over here. in order to push through, instead of just pushing through this area constantly and just beating his head against a wall. Now, what I'm doing over here is I see what's going on in this forest, and I'm like, fuck it. I need to get these pioneers in, so I'm laying down howitzer smoke. Instead of actually just trying to actively engage them with HE, I realized that the pioneers will do a much better job than if I lobbed actual rounds. So as you see here, we have the pioneers coming through, and that should be within 100 meters from on the other side of that smoke. I also kind of get a little frisky here with this Pioneer squad. Because I'm like, you know what? Let's see if the flamethrower works against the Stug. And this entire right flank is just turning into, like, lead bukkake. Like, we got him pushing over with his Panzer IIs. We have all of these Pioneers and Grenadier 15 Ws, so these disheartened troops. And I'm pumping as many 10-point infantry, or not infantry, but tanks into that area as fast as possible in order to try to stabilize it. Now, I turned off the AP and turned on the heat. It's a little bit more micro for these Pack 36s, but it gives you the ability to deal with medium or heavy armor. So you can use them in ambushes just like I used there against that Stug. And as we see here, I'm just trying to stabilize as fast as possible on the right because I realize the left should do pretty well. I'm holding off any future advances over here just in order to stabilize the right because I want his attention not on the left right now. Because it looks like to me the right is where he was focused at the most. Now, you might say, why aren't you retreating these Modaperta? The reason is I wanted them to stay there and get shot so that these S-35s with their horrible optics, very low optics, pardon me, would still have something to shoot because the infantry would designate the targets because they're being shot at. So I'm using them literally as, not meat shields, but meat targets? And I think that's a oh no, that's the Luftwaffe Jaeger still. So these fanatical units doing a really good job of holding me off. Now you remember how I was saying the Panzer F2 would do a good job against these Panzer T-38s, or 38Ts? Yeah, the Panzer II is actually beating these tanks handedly. And with that, he has almost all of the right. We'll see what happens here. Oh, these Grenadiers don't have anti-tank. Damn. So I was able to just sneak by, barely. Let's see, can this Pioneer get his shell off now? So, because I had 1-star shock Pioneers, or the flamethrower Pioneers, I was able to actually take that position from him. Now, one thing I want to point out, I've maintained my Vanguard push, because it's 5 points less than Vanguard, in A phase and maintained my positions. So with B phase ending and his 40 points advantage ending as well, we're going to see me get a little bit more aggressive. Now, I don't know what actually saw this. I think it was the Pack 36 that saw this actual artillery piece, so I was able to get eyes on, which is crazy. And you see I'm just trying to counter battery with 75 mils. It's not going to do well because that thing is armored. So there is that to look at. And I just decide to keep trying to reinforce the left side now. Basically, you can kind of tell where people are microing based off of where the aircraft are going, because that's what they're paying attention to and that's where they want to go. So I decide, well, I see the Italian troops in these tree lines, and I want to keep pushing them with Bulgarians, so I gotta make that a more beneficial engagement for my forces. So that's why I keep bringing in these aircraft with 250-pound bombs, in order just to keep hitting these better infantry. Because I think they're Decima are what's over there, and they're much better infantry than what I have. Yeah, the right push is going to get completely destroyed by clown cars. Maybe I get in? No. Right side's pretty well fucked up there, so I'm gonna have to keep pumping more and more resources into the right. But it's kind of weird because we've seesawed and I have the left. Oh, so the Panzer Grenadier 41, yeah, the Decima. That's what I was hitting with the bombs. Fantastic units in the 7th, 15th, one of my favorite units that they have available. So as we see here, the push along the right got killed off by those Panzer 2s. So I don't learn my lesson well. I decided to throw more 10-point tanks into them. Oh, that Tiger! That's a very heavy tank, and Bulgarians don't do well with super heavy tanks. But what you're seeing now is we're going to watch this IL-2 go in, because I realized I had enough money to purchase this, and I had line of sight. So this IL-2 is actually going towards his Lorraine. Because remember when that first IL-2 went over, I didn't see any AA. So now I'm just going in. I want to see if I can kill it off with one rocket strike. So he's going in. He didn't notice, and it's gone. I tried thinking I might be able to use that against the donor or the DO-217. It didn't work, so I decided to pull it out. And he's doing the same thing that I'm doing with his aircraft, which is trying to change the infantry engagements to a more favorable infantry engagement. Oh. And now I got the 222 here, and I think that's why I'm able to see the Stug currently in hiding. So he's doing a really good thing, and he's trying to open up a new front. And he pushes up this hill, and you will see me react, because I'm like, oh shit, if he moves that Tiger up there, puts it there, I don't really have much except for like Panzer IVs at that range really, or the AT aircraft that can deal with it. At the same time as I'm trying to stabilize my main hill with a single Pahota, I think the, yeah, it was just the timing. Because the, you know, income. So now you're probably going to see me purchase a lot more for that. And I realized on the left how important this is and how much we both have invested here, so I bring out a commander. And for this, I'm just trying to give my guys 2 stars, because they're 0 stars normally. So I'm just like, you know what, let's see what happens. Yep, you see me here doing an investment in that. That Pahota is doing a recon by force, so just trying to see what they have there. And I notice he has a ton of AA on the right side now. I think he's been pissed off a little bit about how much the airstrikes have been doing. Yep, he brings out an IL-2, so that should tell you that there's at least a flak bidding or a few 20 mils in that area. So instead of constantly bombing the right side, because I know my planes might die, I am now bombing the left side in order to support this, because I have my commander, I have a bunch of infantry, a bunch of tanks, a bunch of everything I need in order to fully kick him out and gain that advantage on the left side. Now, this 37 HE shell's not worth much, but I wanted to have this up here in case he brought more clown cars. And what I realized is his anti-aircraft is over here, so as long as I hit this and peel left, I shouldn't have to deal with much anti-aircraft because I can see what these Pahotas, what's over there. It's getting a little frisky over here. We're seeing those disheartened grenadiers break. So, disheartened's good, but holding a line with them, probably not the best thing. So again, I did the same things here with these Pahotas. I just kept them there instead of retreating because I realized they didn't have any like actual infantry support or equipment over here. And I needed my tanks to be able to shoot things. So again, I'm just using these tanks as a really shitty 37 mil support gun. And I think that's like one of the best ways to use them. Now, if you look over here, this Pack 38 firing APCR at these tanks, which is giving them the ability to do the massive suppression it's doing. And be able to, yep. Oh, I'm getting real cheeky with this 36 mil, or the Pack 36. Now it's real hairy in here right now because you see his infantry being back here, the line not showing them, but I know it's there. So I'm just trying to push more Pahotas into that area, and I'm also going to hit it. Why'd I hit it with an IL-2? I don't know. But I'm going to hit it with everything I can. Oh, that's Strela. Probably not the best move. But at least with this Urgan getting in, I'll be able to shift them. Now, this was me not microing, and we're going to see that 37 mil probably take it down. But with that bombing strike, I have completely collapsed the left, and I'm still holding on for dear life on the right. So, there is hope. Now, the P-38s are the 20-point ones with 60 mil fronts, so they'll be able to actually stand up to the autocannon units. And that's a big thing. And over here I'm stabilized. I'm not microing because I'm microing elsewhere. You can see here I'm trying to bring in this IL-2 to hit this. Oh damn, he brings out a Tiger in order to try to stabilize this line. Where's that DO-17? 217. Oh, I think it's going for the MG-34. It looks like he's trying to push through the center as well. So, there's that to look at. Well, I'm focusing mostly on the flanks, just pouring infantry and support tanks through. Yep, you see here I'm trying to take this back. The S-35s being those 10-point ones, they're not going to do too well against the Panzer II. So, but the 37 mil is actually going to be able to help this S-35 out. So again, I just had this here for clown car purposes, and I got the armored clown car instead. So let's see what happens here. Oh. How fast is this rate of fire? 12 rounds a minute? Yeah. So again, I know I don't have the best infantry in the area, especially with his being Decima. So I'm trying to bomb it just to try to bring the Pahotas to a more favorable engagement. And I finally get hurt enough to bring in the 37mm AA gun. Now this Pahota is hanging on for dear life, so that's probably going to collapse here in a minute. I'm just like, oh shit. But I wanted to bring out all of these support guns right now, because I saw how effective his actual airplay has been. So remember, he has a Tiger over here, like right up against the forest. So I'm going to try to get a Panzerschreck there to deal with that. Now, I bring the Panzerschrecks in B. I can't remember if they're phase locked in B, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles in this. I'm bringing this Pack 38 all the way up here to try to shoot at reinforcements that try to drive up. And it looks like he's actually getting a decent amount through over here, and so I'm going to have to keep investing into that area. But if you look at the right, it's just a flood of red. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing these Pahotas engage Grenadier 15Ws outside of their Kabuksugun, or they're just satchel charged, except for this one here who's going to get satcheled. Yeah. Yep, we're just seeing me hold on for dear life on the left versus all of the support equipment on the hill. I just know it's not worth pushing out more than I have to over here, just for the simple fact that his support equipment will take me down. And we see I'm bringing an 88 mil here, because if you look at this, it's a pretty nice line of sight to a Tiger. So we'll see what happens there. DO217 is continuing to really mess up any of my pushes, so his airplay has been great so far when it comes to just interdicting any pushes I might have. And I wanted to bring this 223 up, or yeah, 223 up, just so I could be able to move it up and see the Tiger with the 88, so I don't have to worry about not losing line of sight to it. My 222's doing the Lord's work, supporting with autocannons. His Decima, though, oh, they are such good CQC units. I'm not noticing I'm microing elsewhere, so whatever happens over here will happen. Oh, now I notice. Oh, yep. I'm like, oh shit. Get it out. But my hope is with the 37 mils to at least damage and make it so they can't come out as fast. Now, he moved his Tiger over here, so now I can't actually get shots on it. The 37 mil is getting real frisky there. Decima or DT? Oh yeah, so it's just beautiful Berettas at 150 meters and Panzerfausts. So really, really good CQC troops. Oh shit, the 88's what killed that flak filling. That's what allowed me to do this. Oh shit, I just realized that watching this. Well, the 88 didn't really win against the Tiger, but it did win against the flak filling. And this Strela G6 over here is pretty much telling me there's no AA on the right. I think I've been hitting it with artillery during the game. So we're just seeing the 88 do what 88s do at this point, and I just keep reinforcing the left little by little because I think I have a good hold on it, so most of my points are now going into like the right area. And my Air Force. I forgot to micro that, so that's my bad. But these 250 kilogram bombs doing fantastic with swinging any actual engagements. As you see, I'm stacking them up and bringing them out. And I'm just going to try to hit these Tigers with Panzer IVs. Probably not the best idea, but it's an idea. Oh, the 88 got it, but the Tiger traded with it. Okay. So again, I'm trying to HE that, and the good thing about having the Panzer IVs is the Panzer IVs are dragging, they're facing elsewhere. These Decima RDTs are just doing a great job against me. As you can tell, I'm getting flustered looking around all over the place. Also, you can always bring your troops out and have them unload at position if you just give the order prior to bringing out your troops. So, fun fact there. Yeah, as you see, these Decima, whew, they are just fucking me up. So 715th has fantastic CQC with these Italians in there. And I'm just throwing pejotas into the meat grinder. I'm not lying to you. It's just, how many bodies do I have to spend to deal with the Italian problem over here? Now this 222, I kind of threw it up there just to see what I could, like, figure out what was up there. And at this point, I think I'm pretty much out of dedicated CQC troops, so it's going to be lots of pejotas. And the reason why I use these lots of Pahotas is because they're 20 points, and they get thrown in the meat grinder just like everyone else. I have a feeling that Decimo was on a move order, now that I'm watching that. Yep, the Pahotas might take a blast from that 250 bomb, but it's worth it, just in case there were any Decimas in there. Alright, so they didn't get pinned. So we see here I am attempting a pushback. I kept these 222s in reserve just to support some infantry pushes later. So we're seeing that actually play out pretty well with the fact this 222 is out of ammo, so that means it spent 180 rounds. Jesus! Oh, cracks are showing. Now, what am I doing with this? Alright, it's out of HE shells, so I've completely forgotten to micro my artillery, so I didn't end up getting punished for it, but I could have if he had kept counter-battering. Then again, you guys have seen the deck. The artillery is 170 points, so I'd have to save up 10 points preview just because I have the artillery coming in with the supplies. Because I expect as a V for Victory player to run through and have longer games. Now we see the center AA net actually doing a good job with holding everything back, and these Thrella G6s, oh, chef's kiss, air superiority. And I think that I might have more meat in for the grinder than he does at this point. You see I'm moving these guys to the sides to clean up, and I'm going to push up, and I'm going to try to clean it up that way. Now you notice I'm using my Panzer IVs in a sniper role for this deck, and I think that's how the Panzer IVs in this deck need to be used, is not as frontline tanks. That's the S-35's role, but instead to keep them back at their 1750 mark and try to snipe things between that 1750 and that 1500 mark, and allow the S-35s and the fun things with your infantry to actually push through those areas. Good bombing run, and we see a Flak 37. So he is rebuilding in the AA net. Now over here, we have the 222 just holding back. I probably should have pushed it forward, not gonna lie there. But these Pahotas are gonna push through, and hopefully, because I don't have any 18 on these infantry, I don't run into anything. So we're seeing here I have the Panzer IV, the Flak 88, and this Panzer IV engaging the things over here. And that was because I wanted to have like 2 points of fire to force armor in a different position. Oh shit, the Flak 88 actually has a line of sight on that Stug. Now will it hit? That's a different question. Oh, also, because I see how much trouble the right side's having, I bring the commander, completely redeploy him from the left to the right so he can keep lending veterancy where it's needed. And I think that's going to matter if the game continues on, because I can still bring in some leaders and bump up these Pahotas and these Panzer T-38s to having at least 2 stars. And that should matter. See, I'm bringing over the leadership to help out these pushes. And I think the Flak 88 actually took out the Stug. Oh, that's an IG-18, so he does have a lot of support equipment on the road. But I now have my own 75mm support gun in the form of a Panzer IV. I really don't know how these things are seeing these Decimas, but I leave this here just to make him think something's there. Oh god. The entire Bulgarian Air Force is coming. Now, I really like these Urgans, like we talk about in the deck building video, just because two 250 kilogram bombs is enough to kill most support weapons if you get a direct hit, and it's able to do a decent amount of damage in general. Alright, and I am doing the orders so I can remember to get them out. Alright, IG-18 went down, and the infantry here went down as well. Now I decided to bring it back because I have both those with Faust coming through. Ooh, the IL-2 is going to try because the Krupp 88 could not actually take down that Sturmpanzer IV without massive suppression, so I decided to take it out. Ooh, the IL-2 rockets did it. Oh, Panzer IV firing at the Grenadiers. Now, as you see, I'm bringing this Panzer IV over and I'm trying to make it so it stops the Tiger from pushing out. Again, these Panzer IVs are about the heaviest anti-tank guns I have, except for the Pak-40s, but these are more mobile, and they can penetrate the big kitty cats, especially at closer ranges. Like, that's going to be 750 range. He is running at these tanks. We see here Clown Cars doing the Lord's work, pushing over and helping the Pahotas. I should have pushed up this S-35 just because now I have the commander here. But instead I'm trying to rely on the Air Force like I have been. And it's not working because of the amount of AA. Oh, but I do have a Flak 88 and I brought this here to interject against this. Oh, here's the Panzer IV. Let's see if it does what I need it to do. Bounce. Oh god, this guy's gonna die. Oh, and there goes the game. So that's how I would play the Bulgarian V for Victory, 43 to 38. LtMarthy, you've done a great job, great game. I just wanted to point out that that's how I would play my V for Victory deck that we went over. So with that, please like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. And if you'd like, I'll leave a link in the description below for the Kingdom of the Noobs Discord server, where you can get access to the funness that is the Squire Joust Tournament if you're an average player. For newer players, they have the Peasant Joust, and then for the advanced players, where you're going to see like Attack Power, Dennis Diderot, and a few other players that you might know, they'll be in the Knights bracket. So you will be able to play with people that are your skill level. And with that, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye now.